Okay, so we're here with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, and we're in Rome, Italy. It is May 2010, exactly 3 years from the first time you come to Rome and to invite us to more consciousness, and you have been traveling around the world quite a bit since then. And what's it like traveling around the world, inviting people to consciousness?
It's a very interesting experience to go around the world because you keep thinking that people are very different. But one of the things that is consistent is people are really interested in having a difference. I think people have been, searching. Most of the people who come to Access have been searching their whole lives. They've been looking in churches, cults, and religions of different sorts, constantly seeking something that they don't even know what it is. And they're always looking for something that's going to give them that thing that lets them know that they are them and that they're okay. And I've been in many churches, cults, and religions myself, so I understand that, and I realized that somewhere along the line it became real to me that you have to ask the question, not have the answer. And so many of the modalities out there are about the answer. And it's a real amazing thing, because whether you're in Sweden or Poland or Italy or the UK or Australia or New Zealand or Korea, or the questions are the same. The people desire the same sense that there's more, there's got to be more. And if there isn't more, what's the purpose?
Do you find people are looking for answers less now?
Well, I think they're looking for answers more now, but they've tried so many of the things that have been considered answers that they've begun to feel that somehow nothing is working. And that's probably the most difficult part, because I'm not trying to give them an answer, I'm trying to give them the awareness that when they ask the question, the universe can provide greater answers than we can, and it can do it in a heartbeat. But most of us are so busy trying to create something that we think is going to finally work that we miss the answers that are given to us by the universe. And the universe knows more than we do.
Is that, how does that fit in with the spirituality of people going to India to find themselves up on a hill somewhere? I mean, you talk about consciousness and access.
Yeah.
How does that intersect, if at all, with spirituality?
Well, it judges nothing. The difficulty I've found with most of the people who've done a lot of spiritual work is they're told that if they do it this way and they finally get it right and they finally figure out how to be right in the way they do it, that then they will achieve enlightenment. And yet, the ones I've met have done all the right things, been to all the right places, talked to all the right people, and they come away feeling somehow that they're only wrong. And that shouldn't be the way it is. I know I went to visit some man who was this lady's spiritual guru, and I asked a question, and I intentionally made the question sort of ambiguous, because I didn't want to give him the ammunition to feed me back my own reality. I wanted him to tell me something I didn't know, and because that was my criterion for whether this was somebody I was interested in following. And interestingly enough, he picked up the question, he read it, and he said, "This is the stupidest question I ever read." I went, okay, this is not the person I want to be with. And it was interesting because the rest of the evening I watched him pick up the questions, and he could get the answer the person needed by the question that they asked. And I went, what? That's just friggin' intelligence. That's not necessarily enlightenment. But that was my perspective.
Isn't that what the majority of psychologists or modalities sort of do? They look for the answer in your question?
Well, I'm sure they do. It's like I took psychology in school, and I was, I have a degree in psychology, and I watched people look for the signs in the way you used your faith, the signs in the way you said things, and that kind of stuff to indicate what they had to answer you. And I had it done enough in my life that I wasn't going to give that kind of feedback system to people. And I don't look for that feedback. I look for the energy that the person is functioning from that isn't working for them, and try to question until they become aware of what they're aware of.
So Access is not based on spirituality, it's not based on psychology.
Well, it's based on all those things and more. It's like all those things are part of it because they're all part of our lives. And there's truth in anything, okay? Everything has truth in it. Difficulty is that we think that because one part is true, that the rest of it is true. My point of view is that, it's like anything that is true is light. Anything that's a lie is heavy. And if you read everything that you read from the point of view of, does this make me feel light or does this make me feel heavy, you can pick the truth, that which is true, out of everything in the world. And there's truth in, just about anything that we've ever studied or looked at. The problem is that when, it's like if you study something and it says, this is the truth, and then something doesn't feel light to you, it's the truth and a lie. And what people do is they go along with the truth, and then they try and make the lies real for them. And that's, I think, probably the most detrimental thing I see happen in people's lives.
That makes me think of this preoccupation with the year 2012.
Yeah.
It's sort of, there's lightness and heaviness, it's that going on. So what is that?
Well, it's like the thing